If you see me in real life, you'll notice that I always have my journal with me. In this video, I'll share how journaling has personally helped me. I'll also show how my journal works, which I call the save file style. I'm quite forgetful, so being able to see what's going to happen and plan how I can approach it all in one book really helped me to manage my time. Using a physical book to plan, I also find it less likely to get distracted compared to using digital planners. People forget a lot of things and you can't really control what you remember. Once you lose something, it's gone forever. So I at least want a record of what I feel is important so that it won't be totally lost, if it makes sense. Writing down things not only help you to remember things, but it also can help you to forget stuff. Writing down thoughts that you don't want to crowd your mind can help you let go of it. It helps me think more about what I'm anxious about, which I will also write down how everything might be fine later, so it makes me feel better. So what is a save file style? It's kind of like a bullet journal in a diary. Bullet journal is kind of like a customized personal planner, from what I can tell. The format of this style is just writing everything from top left to bottom right, filling every space. It's an all-in-one book. I can write my diary entries, my to-do list, where the checkbox keys are inspired by bullet journals, notes about anything, like for classes, for work, assignments, events, and stickers of random stuff, and then an arrow detailing where I got it from. Before any entry, I'll have a title with the date, time, day of the week, this is Japanese kanji, location of where I'm writing, who I'm with, and if I'm eating or drinking anything. I think including small details like this will be fun to read through in the future. Another thing that I don't see many journals doing this is using buttons, like in games, which is basically a pointer of where the previous and next related page is for a spread. For those who are unfamiliar, spreads means a two-page page for dedicated stuff. So starting from the back, there's an emergency contact of the vet, just in case. And here's my menu, which means index, I guess. I prefer to write my index at the back of the book, so that if I need more space, I can just write to the next page. For the printed index at the beginning, I use it as my ink testing page. There's a lot of strange names I use for my spreads, but I'll explain it to you once we get there. I like to make my save file more fantasy themes to gamify this experience. My potion shelf is my long-term goals. The desire prison is a page where I write down things I want to do, but I have no time for it. So when I'm free, I can just check the things to do here. Upside down, I have some journal entry ideas that I can write about when I'm free too. Next, a wish list. I write down the reason why I want the item, and I also have a rule that I only can have 5 items in my wish list at a time. And then over time, when you want something new, you go back and see, maybe I didn't really want this as much as I thought. Here is my status. Every day I write one that's made out of 3 rows. It has the date, the day of the week, and first row is a productivity row. It has what I've done that's related to schoolwork, YouTube, or my game development. I also write down factors upside down that might cause me to be unproductive. The next row is the daily, kind of general row, where I circle how happy or satisfied for that day. This way, it's okay to not write a diary every day, but I also can still remember what I've done. Then the third row is about what I eat that day, how satisfied I am with the meal, and I also have these symbols that represents who cooked the meal, or if it's eaten outside or a takeout. And then at the end of the month, I will count my productivity points and collect the reasons for unproductivity. And just kind of take a note of that. Social links. It's basically an index for people. And then achievement gets. Date of when I did something I'm proud of. Game rules is an index for journal entries where I kind of learned a life lesson. Things that I want to remember that I feel are important. This next page is kind of like a gratitude log, but an index of journal entries where I felt genuine love and appreciation for something. It's a feeling that feels like a flower blooming, so that's why this is called a flower garden. The wishing well is like the flower garden, but for wishes. It would be nice to see if the wishes I made came true in the future. Adventure Guild, anime and gaming hobby related stuff. We got Worlds on Hold, which is basically to watch, to read, and a to playlist. I draw symbols that represent the media, write the name over here, the date when I recorded it, who recommended it or how I found out about that, and a synopsis of what it's about. Here's my adventure archive. To the left, this is all the ongoing stories, medias. And to the right is for short games or movies where I can watch or play it in one go. I also write my personal rating when I'm done with it and a dash to indicate the ongoing series is done. The series I write from the end of the list are game demos. I separate it so I can keep an eye out for the full release. This is my exploration log. It has the dates, button for the previous entry, the name of the series, and a dash with the status if I started it, if I ended it, or if I dropped it. And there's some other icons that kind of make it easier to read, I guess. At the end, I will also give a rating so I can see how my feelings about the series changes over time. This is how I draw my calendar. I draw as many dates as I can for a page instead of doing it monthly. It's easier to see everything if the months are connected. Future sites are basically key dates that are too far from my calendar. Hopefully this video could inspire you to think different ways of using a journal. This is my 29th diary. I've written on and off during my teens, but in high school I really got into the habit. There's nothing else I would like to add. It would be cool if I have time to read through my old diaries, but I don't have time, so whatevers. My channel is random content, but mainly about anime stuff, so don't subscribe to me unless, I don't know, you're bored, okay? So, bye.